Hi everyone, and welcome today again to my behind the scenes channel, Mega Views or Mega Tech Views. And I'm the founder of EverjoyAi, and I am going to take you through a tool that I wish I had when I first started, and that is a market gap analyzer. So I called it EverjoyAi Vantage, and basically it's taking you through a process where you can discover exactly where the gaps are in the market when it comes to your product. It could be a SaaS product, it could be e-commerce, it could be anything really that you want to sell. And this is something that the reason why I wish I had it is because even though there was Google Trends, that was only one way of looking at it, and I wanted a holistic look because there's so many different social media platforms now. And I've taken all of the ideas of the data from those tools and solidified it using the LLMs into one tool, so that you're getting a more holistic outlook of what is actually in the market and what is taking off and what is sort of like struggling. So as well as looking at just the demand in terms of, say for instance, TikTok has Creator Search Insights, and in Creator Search Insights there's a tool that shows you, say for instance somebody is typing in a certain something, it could be archery tools, and they're looking for archery tools, and you can see there's been a demand for archery tools because maybe there's some kind of the Winter Olympics or something on, and people are all into this particular sport, but there isn't enough demand, so it's like a red arrow with 1000 saying, for instance, that means there's a 1000% demand without there being enough supply. So there's kind of looking at the ratios. I have a calculation in here as well where it's looking at the ratios of supply and demand, and it's also looking at the analysis of like Google Trends. Where exactly does your particular product fit, whether there is a lot of demand for it, whether you should kind of look at something else, or just seeing what your competitors are doing and how much competition you have. So identifying underserved niches with AI-powered demand versus supply scoring, so it does score it for you and find your competitive edge. Demographics deep dive, understand your target audience with a detailed psychographic behaviors and consumer insights. And that has to do with longevity as well, because with Google Trends you can see the analysis report of it going over time, how there's something that hasn't been a spike where it's just a fad or a trend and it's died, but you can see the uptake over a long period of time with this tool. And seeing where there's longevity in that product gap category. And then looking at location intelligence, so also depending on where you're located. So for instance, you might think, oh my gosh, cheese is something that's your forte, and you want to harvest you have your brie farm or whatever it is, but then this is New Zealand. I mean, New Zealand's overabundant with cheese, so the geographic location may stunt your growth. You might want to move somewhere where there's not enough cheese, and so you kind of are the go-to person for the cheese, and all the mice are there wanting to eat your cheese. So I guess that's what I'm trying to say with that. And with competitor analysis, you have the comprehensive competitor profiling with strengths and weaknesses and market positioning, and that's your SWOT analysis as well. And then also you can actually export it as a branded report. So say for instance you are consulting with a client and you need to make sure that you're giving the client sound advice and not kind of guessing. And so this report can help you really nail it and really give you the full data, execution summaries and actionable recommendations once you've discovered what that gap is and how you're going to help your customer stand out in the market. And then the campaign blueprint, that's the AI generated marketing strategies with channel mix, budget allocation and KPIs to stand out. So that's giving you actual goals and targets and metrics to work through with your product. So for instance, you found your gap, you looked at the competitors, you looked at your SWOT, you looked at the report in detail, and now you're ready to action your actual blueprint. And I think this tool is going to be really useful to a lot of people, and I'll take you through it now. So so now that you've come to this page, we can discover the market gap opportunities. So we can plug in fitness tech, analyze it, for instance, that's as an example. And here we have the top 10 market gaps in fitness ranked by DSR score. So that's the score I was explaining to you, the demand and supply rating. And you can even download the full report as a PDF, or you can save the analysis. And here as an example is AI-powered fitness tech personalization. And you can see there's a rapid growth with this sort of personalization when it comes to fitness and tech. So for instance, an example of that could be, one of those smart watches. It gives you your heart rate, it gives you all of things that are related to your fitness, but then it's also it's also a watch. So it's good to see how this is all broken down for you, and it's subscription-based fitness tech discovery platform is the second one. So you can go through all of the different ideas and then see, well, where does my product fit, or whether I actually like this sort of product a lot better because it's showing 143% growth. And you can also see the supply and demand ratio as well, and that's also saying here the top 3 are, there's a real demand for it, whereas maybe there's a mid demand for mid-market. And then the gap opportunities, a deep dive into an action plan. The pain point identifies as consumers in the fitness tech space are overwhelmed by generic options that don't match their unique preferences. So people are looking for very customized products when it comes to fitness tech. Existing solutions rely on broad categorization rather than deep personalization, leading to decision fatigue, wasted spend, and low satisfaction rates. 73% of potential buyers abandon their search due to inability to find exactly what they need. So this is where I think vibe coding, I saw somebody do Claude code attached to their fitness, a Fitbit, or I don't know if it was an Apple Watch or a Fitbit, but that's very personalized, because then you can really tune your Apple Watch to the app, and it can really monitor everything very accurately, because you can add in, you can add more features and more things to it as you progress, and it becomes very, very personalized. So that's where things are heading with tech and apps. And the Fitness Tech Match AI, an AI-powered recommendation engine that uses detailed performance, detailed preference quiz, behavioral analysis, and machine learning to match users with hyper-personalized fitness tech options. Features include taste profile building, community ratings weighted by preference, similarity, and discovery mode that introduces users to options they'd never find on their own. So it's kind of like this whole buzz with creatine as well when it comes to fitness. Maybe you can have like an eating plan that includes some of those supplements, or maybe it's you taking up cardio more and then you want to monitor that more closely, whatever it might be. So there is the advanced analysis, the deep dive into AI-powered fitness tech personalization. So it's the target demographics. So obviously you're also looking at the age groups that you're wanting to target, and here you can see what the distribution is depending on what we've just searched for. And the income level is 55,000 to 120 annually, and that's the gender split that you see over there. And then looking at the consumers and what they actually want, so looking at what the search engine is showing, as well as what are people saying and needing. Customers don't just want better fitness tech options, they want a trusted guide that understands their unique context. The number one unmet need is personalized discovery experience that eliminates decision fatigue while surfacing genuinely relevant options that wouldn't find through traditional search. So they're looking for something very, very specific, and this is where you can come in and show off your tech skills and and put something together that's very unique. And then that's the pricing, what they're willing to pay, the purchase frequency, and the hidden needs of what you might not think of on the get-go, but it's actually something that's really intuitive in what they need. So the audience psychology, the core values, things that are going to motivate buyers to have a look at what you have to offer. And then building a loyal audience, trust factors, and then loyal drivers can really put into action. And those are some of the community strategies and content pillars. It also breaks down a full 6-month action plan, which really goes in depth of how you can launch your particular MVP or product, whatever it might be. Go in deep, and you can look at the market size analytics. You can really do a proper presentation if you're pitching it to someone. You can show direct to consumer compared to how you're going to market it here. Management, and then the competitor analysis as well. So it takes you through the whole competitor analysis, establishing the marketplace, and what other people are doing, and how you can stand out, and then the market gaps. So AI power personalization with community validation, that's sort of medium. There's a low mobile first experience for on-the-go discovery. So maybe there's way too many mobile apps in there and one system. So competitive advantages to build. So here's your 3 to 6 months plan, 6 to 12 months, or 12 to 24 months. The market trends, looking at what's kind of in and out, and what's, as I said, there's more longevity in some of the stuff. And then there's entry barriers. So there's some things that are very hard to get into. You need a lot of financial or backing behind you to be able to really take off. So here you can see the target audience, unique selling proposition, and then the campaign phases, how you can go from awareness to buzz building, conversion and activation, retention and referral growth, and then channel mix and budget allocation. So you can see it's a full comprehensive business plan that can take you from A to B to C to D all the way to Z. This is the success metrics and the KPIs, as I said before, and then you can download the report. So it's a very, very comprehensive report. It doesn't leave you anything to chance or to guess. Everything is there for you to go and have a look at and really get great value out of it.